Have you ever found yourself standing by the window, sipping your morning tea, thinking, how did the years go by so quickly? One day you're running after the kids, and the next, you're wondering why your knees crack when you climb the stairs. Life moves fast, but that doesn't mean we can't slow it down a little, especially when it comes to something as precious as our health. If you're over 75, or even approaching it, you've probably heard that aging brings health challenges. But here's something many people don't realize. Most of those challenges come from just a handful of preventable causes. That's right. The majority of health-related deaths after age 75 are linked to 5 key issues. But, and this is important, they're not a life sentence. In fact, with just a few small, consistent changes, you can lower your risk and start feeling better every single day. And no, I'm not going to tell you to run a marathon, go vegan, or do yoga on a mountaintop. This is about simple, realistic steps that fit right into your life as it is. Whether you're 75 or 95, it's never too late to take back control of your health. So let's talk about what really matters: your well-being, your energy, and your ability to enjoy every moment with the people you love. In this video, we'll gently walk through 5 things that become the leading causes of death after 75. And more importantly, how you can protect yourself with practical habits that don't take hours or a complete lifestyle overhaul. Let's start with something that doesn't often get talked about, until it's already too late: falling. It may seem like a small thing, a little trip on the carpet, a misstep in the bathroom. But after 75, falls are one of the biggest silent killers. Not because of the fall itself, but what comes after. A broken hip, a long hospital stay, and before you know it, your independence slowly slips away. It's heartbreaking, and yet so many of these accidents can be prevented. So how do you stay on your feet? Quite literally. The answer starts with strength. And no, I don't mean lifting heavy weights. I mean simple movements that keep your legs, hips, and core active. Even 5 to 10 minutes a day of standing leg lifts, walking heel to toe across the room, or gently getting up and down from a chair can make a world of difference. If you're watching this while sitting, take a moment after the video to try it. No equipment needed. And don't forget balance. It's like a muscle. It gets weaker when we stop using it. Try standing on one leg while brushing your teeth. Hold on to the counter if you need to. Little moments like that sprinkled throughout your day can help rewire your sense of stability. You don't have to be an acrobat, just aware. Now, while we're here, let me say this too. Don't be shy about using support. Handrails in the bathroom, a good cane, slip-proof rugs. They aren't signs of weakness, they're signs of wisdom. You've come this far in life by being smart, and staying safe is part of that. All right, let's move on to something even more dangerous yet often hides in plain sight: heart disease. After 75, your heart isn't just the engine of your body, it's also one of the most vulnerable parts. And while many think that if they haven't had a heart attack by now, they're in the clear, that's just not true. Your heart works 24/7 without asking for much in return. But over time, if it doesn't get the right support, it begins to wear down. Now here's the good news. You don't need a fancy gym or strict diet to take care of your heart. In fact, one of the most powerful things you can do is simply walk. Not fast, not far, just consistently. A gentle 20-minute walk, even inside your house or around the garden, tells your heart, I care about you. It keeps the blood flowing, the muscles strong, and the mind clear. But movement alone isn't enough. Your heart also needs the right fuel. That means more fresh foods and less salt and sugar. You don't have to give up all your favorite treats, just balance them with things that are kind to your heart: leafy greens, nuts, beans, and berries. Think of it like this. Every bite is either feeding your health or feeding the problem. And let's not forget stress. Yes, stress. Even in retirement. Even when the kids are grown. Stress can sneak in, worrying about money, about health, about the future. But stress puts pressure on your heart just like unhealthy food does. So take time each day for a little calm, a few deep breaths, A phone call with someone who makes you laugh. Even just sitting quietly with soft music playing. Your heart feels everything. Treat it gently. So far, we've talked about staying steady on your feet and keeping your heart strong. Two powerful ways to protect your future and live with more confidence. Because the truth is, after 75, it's not about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years. Now, before we go any further, take a deep breath. Maybe roll your shoulders a little, stretch your arms. It's not just what we know that matters, it's what we do. And every small movement and every healthier choice, it all adds up. Let's keep going, because the next issue is one that many people ignore, even though it affects everything, from your memory to your energy and even your mood. Let's keep going, because the next issue is one that many people ignore, even though it affects everything from your memory to your energy and even your mood. And that's poor respiratory health. Now you might be thinking, I don't have asthma, or I haven't smoked in years. But here's the thing. After 75, your lungs naturally begin to lose some of their strength. Those tiny sacs in your lungs that bring in oxygen, they get weaker. The muscles around your chest, they aren't as elastic. So even if you've never had a serious lung issue, breathing becomes just a bit harder. And when your lungs aren't working at their best, your body isn't getting the oxygen it needs to thrive. What does that mean in real life? It means you might feel more tired after simple tasks. You might struggle to catch your breath on stairs. You might even feel foggy-headed, like you're just not as sharp as you used to be. But there's good news, very good news. You can help your lungs work better with just a little daily attention. Start with deep breathing, not the shallow kind we do when we're sitting all day, but slow, full breaths. Try this with me right now. Breathe in slowly through your nose. Hold it for just a second. Then breathe out through your mouth, like you're blowing through a straw. Do that a few times each day. It strengthens your diaphragm and helps your lungs expand fully. Even better, pair it with gentle movement. Something as simple as lifting your arms up as you breathe in and lowering them as you breathe out. Think of it as a little wake-up call for your lungs, a soft reminder to stay strong, and don't forget fresh air. Open your windows, even for just 10 or 15 minutes a day, or step outside for a few deep breaths in the morning. If the weather's nice, sit on the porch or near a sunny window. Your lungs love oxygen-rich, clean air. They depend on it. And if you do have a chronic condition, like COPD or a lingering cough from the past, please talk to your doctor about breathing exercises or gentle therapy. It's never too late to give your lung a little love. Now, while we're on the topic of things we often overlook, let's talk about something that's deeply connected to health, but doesn't always get the attention it deserves. I'm talking about social connection. Yes, relationships, conversation, the simple act of being around other people. It might surprise you, but loneliness is one of the top contributors to early death in older adults. In fact, studies show it can be just as harmful to your health as smoking or obesity. And here's why. Loneliness leads to stress, to depression, and even inflammation in the body. When we don't have someone to talk to, someone to share our thoughts with, it's like the light inside us starts to dim a little. The days feel longer. We don't laugh as much. And that affects everything: our heart, our mind, our immune system. But here's the beautiful part. Connection doesn't have to mean big parties or family reunions every weekend. It can be as simple as a phone call with a friend, a cup of tea with a neighbor, or even a warm chat with someone at the grocery store. Small moments of kindness and warmth, they matter more than you know. And if you're someone who lives alone or feels a little isolated, I want you to hear this. You are not alone. Truly. There are community centers, local senior groups, even online spaces where people gather just to talk, laugh, or share stories. Maybe you could join a book club, a walking group, a gentle exercise class, or maybe there's someone in your life, an old friend, a distant cousin, you've been meaning to reconnect with. Don't wait. Reach out. A simple hello could change everything. Sometimes even volunteering helps. Giving back, helping others. It creates a deep, beautiful sense of purpose. And that feeling of being needed? It's like medicine for the soul. Purpose keeps the heart beating strong. So far, we've talked about balance and strength, heart health, healthy breathing, and the power of connection. Each of these plays a part in helping you stay strong and healthy, well beyond 75. And here's something important to remember. These aren't about avoiding death. They're about embracing life. Living longer is wonderful, yes, but living better, that's the real goal. That's what you deserve. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt truly energized in the morning? When your body felt light, your breath came easily, and you smiled just because the sun felt good on your face. Those little moments, they're not behind you, they're not gone, they're still waiting for you. All it takes is a little care, a little intention, and the belief that you can feel good again, because you can. Now, let's keep this conversation going. There's one more factor we haven't talked about yet, one that plays a huge role in those statistics, but that we often overlook in our day-to-day life. Let's take a closer look. Let's take a closer look at something that quietly, but powerfully, affects nearly every system in the body. Something that often becomes more serious with age if we're not paying attention. I'm talking about falls and injuries. You might not think of falling as a major health risk, but here's the truth. After 75, falls are one of the most common reasons for hospitalization, and even death. Not because of the fall itself, but because of what happens afterward. A broken hip, a fractured wrist, a head injury. These take a heavy toll on the entire body. Recovery becomes harder. Independence is lost. And sometimes, that one fall begins a slow decline that's difficult to reverse. But here's the good news. Most falls can be prevented. Truly. And preventing them doesn't require anything extreme. It just takes awareness and a few small changes. Start by looking around your home. Is there a rug that always slips a little when you walk over it? A step that's just a bit too high? Maybe some clutter on the stairs? Or cords near your favorite chair? These little things can make a big difference. Clear the pathways. Secure the rugs. Add night lights in places like the hallway or bathroom, so you're never navigating in the dark. Grab bars in the bathroom. Non-slip mats in the shower. Simple additions. That can save you from serious injury. But even beyond your home, your body plays a huge role. If your legs aren't strong, if your reflexes are slowing down, it's easier to trip, to lose balance. That's why gentle movement, just a little each day, matters so much. Try standing on one foot for a few seconds while holding the back of a chair. Then switch legs. Walk heel to toe across the room. These may sound simple, but they train your balance, strengthen your legs, and boost your confidence. And speaking of confidence, don't let fear stop you. Yes, it's normal to feel nervous after a stumble, or to worry about falling. But staying seated all day? That only makes the body weaker. Movement is your friend. It keeps your muscles ready, your mind sharp, and your body aware. Now there's one final piece to this puzzle, and it's one that touches everything else we've talked about so far. It's not a muscle or a diet, but it's just as important. And that's mental health. As we get older, it's easy to feel like we've been forgotten or left behind. Maybe the kids have moved away, the routine has slowed down, or we're carrying the weight of loss and change. It's no wonder that depression and anxiety quietly creep into the lives of many seniors, sometimes going unnoticed, even by those closest to them. But here's what I want you to remember. Your thoughts and emotions are just as important as your physical health. If you're feeling low, if the days feel heavy, if it's been hard to find joy, please know, you're not alone. You don't have to push through it in silence. Just like we care for our bodies, we must care for our minds. Start by checking in with yourself. Are you doing something each day that brings you a little joy? Are you spending time with people who lift your spirits? Or even just sending a kind message to someone else? Joy doesn't always come in big, dramatic ways. Sometimes it's in the warmth of a cup of tea, the sound of a favorite song, or the way the light filters through the window. And if you find that those feelings of sadness or worry don't go away, talk to someone, a doctor, a counselor, even a close friend. Mental health is real health. You deserve to feel peace in your heart and hope in your days. Meditation, gentle music, journaling, prayer, whatever helps you feel connected to yourself and the world, make space for it. Your mind, just like your muscles, needs exercise, support, and kindness. So let's take a breath together now. Breathe in and out. Let yourself feel proud. Proud that you're taking time to learn, to care for yourself, to be curious about what comes next. That's not just wise, it's powerful. Let me remind you of something important. Getting older isn't about fading away. It's about growing into a new version of yourself, one that's still capable, still valuable, and still full of life. You've walked through so many seasons. You've raised families, worked hard, built memories, seen the world change in ways others only read about. Now is not the time to slow down. It's the time to honor everything you've lived and to protect the years ahead with love and intention. All 5 of these risk factors, weak muscles, heart issues, lung trouble, isolation, and mental health, they're all connected. They don't show up overnight. They creep in slowly, quietly, but they can be kept at bay with small, steady actions, a walk, a smile, a conversation, a stretch, a meal shared with someone who cares. And no, you don't need to fix everything all at once. Even doing just one thing differently tomorrow, adding 10 minutes of movement, calling someone you've been missing, or preparing a meal with a bit more color, can set off a ripple effect of better days. So here's my invitation to you. Choose one thing today, just one, something that makes you feel stronger, lighter, more connected. Then tomorrow, build on that, one day at a time, one good choice at a time. You deserve to live with energy, with clarity, with joy. Age is just a number. Your spirit, your will to thrive, and your ability to care for yourself. Those are the things that matter most. And if this video gave you something to think about, something that sparked hope, or reminded you of your own strength, go ahead and hit that like button. It helps us reach more wonderful folks just like you. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing. We share more videos just like this to help you live well, feel good, and enjoy every chapter of your life. And finally, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What habit are you going to focus on this week? What part of today's video stood out the most? Let's keep this conversation going. Here's to living your best life at any age. You've earned it. You deserve it. And the best part? It's never too late to begin again.